And they will face the green flag for 200 laps, 500 miles to start the 2024 season. Green flag, the Daytona 500 is underway. Still building speed in the back straightaway.
Well, they're building speed, Mike, but the one thing I can tell you about the start of this race that all the drivers are going through is going to be experiencing the speed of the pack that they haven't experienced all week. All 40 cars in the pack, they've only raced against half the field so far, and right now they're all lined up, building speed, but speed that they haven't felt before this week. The bottom lane, they got broke up, and now we've got William Byron leading the bottom lane with Austin Cindric behind him, Ross Chastain leading the outside lane.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank, and away they go. That is Cindric into Chastain and up into traffic.
Did they complete that lap?
Did the leader get the white flag?
This
Caution
could be
waving.
It's going to be close.
When he does his pass through, we'll go 1.5 to 1 3/4 laps down. The good thing for Logano is he'll be the only car laps down should there be an early caution, but he's not eligible for that free pass because of it. Green flag in Atlanta. Michael McDowell leads them to turn 1. It's the Kyle and Kyle show on the inside.
Big run coming on the outside. Todd Gilliland pushing McDowell. Already Busch up for a block.
Michael McDowell swings to the bottom, but Kyle Busch moved up because he knows that that middle lane is going to be the preferred lane. As these things get strung out, you're going to want to be in the middle lane, so you better get off the bottom as quick as you can.
Well, why is that? A little bit more banking. You get trapped on the bottom.
I get tight getting in a corner to try to put himself in position, but those guys don't have anybody behind them in that second row there.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
It's all going to come down to getting into 3, I think. Here comes the energy. Here comes the support from the back, that third row. Where does he block? Does he block high? Does he block low? Here it comes. Kyle Busch to the middle. Shooting a gap. No help with Kyle Busch.
Oh, Suarez right alongside him. 3 wide. Off
Look at
turn 4. Here they come to the flag. 3 abreast. Photo finish.
I think it's Blaney. Unbelievable. 3 wide finish. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Scoring.
Finish is under review.
Scoring has the margin between the first 3 cars at 0.00 seconds.
How awesome was that?
How about that? Freeze frame, stop motion to the line. That's too close to call. Ford versus Chevy, Logano versus Larson. Green flag, 400 miles awaits.
Whoa, big block by Buescher. Looked like Chase Elliott was trying to make a move. That was close, Kevin.
Well, those restarts are going to be like that all day because these guys know that this is when the tires are the freshest. There's all that apron down there. It's very enticing, and you're going to see them 3, 4, and maybe even 5 wide today on the restarts.
Already a lot of 3 wide. How about that?
We're in the Nevada desert, so the sand blows constantly. It'll be there on that back straightaway. And we are 3 and all but 4 wide at the line with Truex and Elliott way down on the bottom of the racetrack. Off turn number 4. Twice Larson and Reddick have finished 1-2. Larson the winner both times. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
And that was all Kyle Larson putting his car in the right spot in front of Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick went to the bottom of the racetrack and he lost all that momentum.
This whole race has been all Kyle Larson. You put that kid behind the wheel of a race car like this at Hendrick Motorsports and he will get the job done. Old-fashioned butt whooping all day long. Kyle Larson.
2 of the best in the business come off turn number 4. Reddick got within a car length, but Kyle Larson scores his 24th career win for Rick Hendrick and Chevrolet. The green for 500 kilometers.
Look at that, 1 car on the racetrack. All the way back at Chastain.
4 wide mid-pack. Whoa.
A lot of cars using that apron already.
Boy, Ty Gibbs got a great start.
Yeah, we saw Ty Gibbs right into the side draft, right? He knew Denny Hamlin was going to come down the racetrack, and he wanted to follow him down on the apron. But Ty Gibbs has been doing an amazing job at the end of last year and this year. You guys know him.
Traffic ahead. White flag. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
His center corner speed has just been lights out. He was here at the test, put in the time, worked hard, and it's paying off.
And his car can go anywhere on the racetrack, which has made him very versatile and be able to get through traffic well.
Preparation's key, and those guys certainly have checked that box here this weekend.
This will be his 4th consecutive season with a victory in the NASCAR Cup Series. Christopher Bell off the final corner, and he wins in Phoenix. Boogity.
Boogity.
Boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
Let's go cruise the concrete.
Gotta love you some DW. He loved this place.
And it loved him.
A lot of Fords up front so far.
You see Ryan Blaney get loose, and this is going to happen a lot in these first few laps until they get that resin run in and get the top layer knocked off.
Rubber put into. Caught him in a bad place getting into turn 3. Gave Hamlin a little bit extra lead. Exactly what he looked. Coming around here to 1 to go. This is just what the doctor ordered. It's exactly what Denny Hamlin wanted to see.
White flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Nurse it around here.
Works around the outside of Chase Briscoe. And by about 12 car lengths, Denny Hamlin is going to win Bristol.
2 in a row here.
My man.
See it right here.
And the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix is underway. Boy, 3 wide, and Ty Gibbs sort of missed that corner. He's back now battling for 5th instead of the lead. 3rd, 4th, 5th. Reddick wasting no time going.
In 2024, Hendrick was so solid the first 2. Gibbs showed up the last 2. Hendrick back on top today.
William Byron down the front straightaway to the checkered flag, gets his 12th career win in the NASCAR Cup Series. For 400 laps in Richmond, let's find out. Green flag.
You can see them all just going into that corner, feeling it out, then going.
Larson did not baby it in there. Elliott right to his outside. Wants the lead, takes it.
3, 4 wide back there. Racetrack a little bit. They're still there, side by side. Still holding tough on the outside, Mark Truex Jr. This Logano's car takes off good too. Looking to the inside of Truex.
White flag. Truex trying to hold off Larson. Logano.
Oh! He didn't like what he saw. Truex come down door slammed down the back straightaway.
Denny Hamlin,
your winner.
Home track win for Hamlin in the Toyota Owners 400. And we're ready to race for 400 laps at Martinsville. Green flag. The Cookout 400 is underway.
My gosh, Kevin, that was definitely inside the restart zone. I don't want to hear anything more about it.
Well, remember, Clint, the flag does start the race.
I don't care. It was in the zone. Martin Truex slid way up the racetrack. Almost got 3 wide right there.
Yeah, and that racetrack's been walked on, run on, cleaned up, and that outside groove won't be as good this first run as it typically is. And
Hamlin still 10.
Elliott put the bumper to him. Chase Elliott to 3rd.
Crash turn 4. 3 cars around.
I think they made it white.
No flag.
Still
White
green.
flag. Green. Everybody gets away.
Slipping and sliding around. Byron way out in the front. likes what he sees in the mirror.
Larson trying to steal second from Chase Elliott. Wallace behind him. William Byron comes to the flag and wins the Cookout 400.
1-2-3 finish for Hendrick Motorsports.
Pace car is in. They address themselves to the start line, and we are underway in Texas. A very orderly start. Nobody jumping out of line.
Well, and we saw the horsepower right off the bat. We talked about it yesterday, the horsepower in that 5 car and how good that thing handles down the straightaway. Just drive away from Ty Gibbs through the middle of 1 and 2 and off of turn 2.
Well, I saw it through the middle, and what I saw is the loud pedal. That right foot stayed down farther on the 5 than it did down.
3 wide mid-pack, but everybody clean as we watch the leaders. Chase Elliott.
He's clear.
Clears Chastain for the lead.
Going to make it to the white flag, too. The race is going to be official.
Byron takes third from Keselowski. Final lap. Keselowski turns the 1.
Byron
into the wall. Yellow. It's over.
Chase Elliott is your winner, folks. He is back. Oh, big win for them guys.
What they came to see. Right there is where the start-finish line would be in Daytona. But it's further down track where the green flag waves, and we're underway.
Well, you just motioned about it in the booth, Clinton. That is as spread out of a start as you'll probably ever see at Talladega, or at least for today, you won't see one that spread out again.
Well, everybody's minding their P's and Q's. No practice. Be mindful that we haven't had any practice. These guys got to feel these cars out a little bit. That communication you heard me talk about with the spotters, everything has to be in sync. Let's ease into this situation because you know it's just going to keep ratcheting up more and more. Already 3 wide towards the back.
About 14 rows, 2 by 2, very nicely Noah's Ark style. It's a mess back there, though, where everybody wants to get to the front.
It is different here. It's a great point, Mike. It's coming.
Well, you want to be the leader right now because as you head towards this white flag, you want to be the leader as long as possible in case that caution flag comes out.
It is Reddick at the white flag with 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. McDowell back to the point by a foot. Big push from Truex. Keselowski as well. Here comes Gregson.
Energy's on the bottom. It's deteriorating on the top.
Now does Keselowski. Is he wingman to McDowell, or does he have a chance to win this race? Off turn 4 for the final time.
Comes a run by Brad. There he goes to make his move. He's going to switch back over.
Oh, the block, and around goes the 34. And Reddick steals one.
That was almost exactly how Brad won this race, his first race. Huge wreck here, guys. Reddick.
Oh my God! Great work, guys! Woo!
Tyler Reddick for the win. On their feet. Green flag for the World 400.
Well, we talked about it before the race started, Clint, is outside or inside. Well, you see right there, the outside just launched way better, and that'll be the case all day on the restarts.
Hamlin outside Byron for fourth rather, as they complete lap 1.
And it's a guessing game. I don't like that middle of the race.
I was exactly going to say the same thing. Here he comes, 1 to go.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Clean track ahead. Denny will probably go back down to the bottom. No, stays high to block. Taking that air away from Kyle Larson. Did a good job with it there.
But Larson's closing. Larson got the drive off the corner. He's got it down to 2 car lengths. Final corner. Larson up high. Hamlin right in the middle of the racetrack takes the air off Larson's nose and wins the Worth 400. 54th career win for Denny Hamlin. Toyota pace car is in. Here they come to the flag. The Advent Health 400 is underway.
Already a great push from the back of Kyle Larson.
Who will lead lap 1 from the outside? Bell at the line. So flag under green. Buscher, Larson trying to close. Truex trying to get up to the leaders.
Well,
How does he make the block, Kevin?
Kyle Larson is going to get there one more time. You see Chris Buscher back down on the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson's going to have one more shot at it, and it's going to become a cat and mouse game as you get into turn 3. Which direction to go?
Where do you go?
Larson up top, all the way up top. Buscher.
He's on the outside. He's in position. He's got it.
And here comes Truex. They're going to close right to the 2 leaders. Coming to the line. Crash together. I believe Buscher.
I think you're right. It's so close. This is going to be a huge win for Buscher. They're excited. I think it's him, Kevin.
That was incredible.
Roll off turn number 4. And the Goodyear 400 is underway. Tyler Reddick wasted no time as Keselowski slides up in front of Gibbs to secure the 2nd spot in turn 4.
Well, you see Chris Buscher down on the bottom of the racetrack right there, and that's not where you want to be. You want to run these cars on the bottom of the racetrack as little as possible, on the apron as little as possible.
And you're right. He came over here, big gamble, put it on his shoulders and did it. Left a championship contending team and organization.
White flag, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Well, Brad Keselowski is 4 corners away from getting back into victory lane. He has done a fantastic job. We knew that this was a style of racetrack, and we knew he had a good car yesterday. He qualified well, and that put him in position to do exactly what he's done today.
RFK, they're here. They're back. Both of those cars were a factor, and it's Brad Keselowski. So happy for this guy. 3 years of trying. Since Talladega, April 21, Brad Keselowski wins the Goodyear 400. 36th career win. Are starting at the rear. Absolute packed house, guys.
Yep.
This is what you come for.
Remember, Tyler Reddick must take the green on the track and then do a pass-through penalty for inspection violations. Here they come. The Coca-Cola 600 is underway. Ty Gibbs in command. Byron, Bell, Chevy, Toyota side by side for 2nd.
Well, this is a really long race.
The Coca-Cola 600 is official. Christopher Bell is the winner, his 8th career win. And the thing that really impressed me about his green flag, the Enjoy Illinois 300 is underway, and McDowell gets a good jump.
You see him slipping and sliding around back there.
Yeah, you see Austin Cindric have a little bit of trouble in the middle of the corner, got up the racetrack. Christopher Bell got by. Ryan Blaney's underneath him there going into turn 3 as well.
Had a lot of 3 wide.
Cindric still
at
loose.
The south end, not so much up here in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, and you see that soft wall right there, how it kind of sticks out. It really narrows that exit up off of turn 4. As you want to finish that corner, you got to almost turn back. The 99 car has gone back around Ryan Blaney.
Got his lap.
Whoa, Blaney's out of gas. Something's wrong.
White flag, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank, and we've got a new leader.
I think he's out of gas.
And I think he is too, an official race too. White flag, no caution. Austin Cindric, oh my gosh, what is happening?
That's why Suarez was able to get around Blaney. Something stumbled on the number 12.
How about this?
Austin Cindric rolls into turn number 3 after starting from the outside pole with only 1 top 10 finish this entire season. And he is going to the playoffs. Austin Cindric wins in St. Louis. Island. Here they come, and there they go. We're racing in wine country.
Joey Logano took all the suspense right out of it, right off the bat with a great start. Didn't have to battle Tyler Reddick at all into turn 1. Got himself some clear space. But
see Blaney holding tight, trying to stay door to door with Reddick. Lost that battle so far. Now Elliott looking to his inside. It's going to get under him. Turn 4 is a dive bomb corner, an opportunity. Thought better of it.
That was Byron off in the dirt going into turn 4. And it's going to take a while to get this field sorted out.
You have to remember, these guys, 50 minutes of practice. Not many of them spent door to door with anybody on this racetrack under this new repaved surface.
And I feel like this is a place that changes the complexion of what you do in the car a lot, because this racetrack is narrow. The way that you go through the rhythm of hitting all the curbs and where you hit them, everybody can do that on their own. But when you're side by side, it changes the whole complexion of the way that you drive. And if you get backed up in a certain section, then you get guys getting a run on you and you start to lose track position as well.
Different down here in turn 11. You see that wall, no more tires, wall all the way around the corner. Kind of a blind corner now, if you will. They drive that corner different. Used to wrap right around those tires, stay on that paint, Kevin.
Oh, sponsored by Credit One Bank. And Kyle Larson drove through the field and back to the front after that final pit stop at lap 81.
Keep an eye on Martin Truex. He's give up another second there. I don't know what's going on there, if he's getting tight on fuel or what, but I think he's given up on the race for the lead. Now we're just managing second place.
Michael McDowell 2.5 behind Truex. Jamie?
Well, Truex's crew chief, James Small, right when they came across the finish line, said hit that fuel switch now. So it's certainly a concern.
Well, Chastain and Busch got together.
Oh my God.
Imagine that.
For 5th.
He's going to fall all the way back to at least 11th.
The hits just keep coming for Kyle Busch and everybody on that 8 car. That's going to be unfortunate. Had a top 5 going.
That's a tough one. Last lap.
That is a tough one.
Last corner. For Elk Grove, California's Kyle Larson, the 31-year-old, is going to power off turn 11, take this little kink here to the checkered flag, and Kyle Larson scores his 26th career win, 3rd of the season. Hendrick Motorsports, Chevrolet.
Hold on, Truex is out of gas.
Way to execute. Way to be there all day. Good job.
Truex is out of gas, guys. He didn't make it back around. McDowell's going to be second. Buscher, he's still not around. He's right there at the start-finish line, 100 yards before it, out of gas.
On their feet. As we've heard before, waiting 20 years for a Cup race. It's happening. The Cup Series is racing in Iowa. Side by side for the lead as Larson dives into 3 just in front of the 12 of Ryan Blaney. The reigning Cup Series champion will now see the white flag. It's 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. The 30-year-old from High Point, North Carolina, has been winless in 2024. He's shown speed. He's shown dominance at other racetracks. And now he's showing that he can get to victory lane at Iowa Speedway. He's the first Cup winner. Ryan Blaney wins in Iowa.
Awesome, man. Awesome job, guys.
1 laps in front of him. We are racing in New England.
Chase Elliott drove it in deep, slid up all the way to the 3rd lane, but was able to turn back down the hill. That's going to make him easily clear in the lead, side by side behind with with Blaney and Bell.
Aggressive move there by Josh Berry, but a little precipitation already on the camera that we're seeing. Denny Hamlin, Josh Berry making up the front row. And we're racing in Music City, USA.
Hamlin with a very aggressive move to block Josh Berry to take that first spot.
Didn't take long for Christopher Bell to also slide up in front of the 4 of Berry. And so Berry's dropped back to 3rd and under pressure now. Here comes Larson. He's going to try to take the spot away. Brad Keselowski in the 6 on the inside. Kyle Larson. Logano on the bottom. Briscoe drifting back. Here comes Reddick.
He is flying. He is going to get to the 22.
1 to go. White flag in the air. Next flag ends the race. Reddick to the high side. Logano drifts up. Logano looking for a win in 2024. Reddick, one more chance. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. He goes up the racetrack. Logano goes up to block. Off turn 4. Logano is going to win in Nashville.
Oh, yes, we did it! Yeah!
Ty Gibbs using the windshield wiper before they get on the green. Out of turn 12. Tires already spinning. Green flags in the air. We're racing in Chicago. The field spreading out as they head into turn number 1, Bagman.
Everybody holding their breath off the end of the front straightaway. Ty Gibbs will lead the entire field to turn 1 in the lead. Remember, these drivers are on slick tires, are not on the wet weather tires. Battle for 3rd. Bowman in the purple 48, wedging his way to the inside of Michael McDowell in a race for 4th.
They race on to Lakeshore Drive for the first time. Ty Gibbs, the black 54, leading the way as this race for the 4th spot continues. Battle for the lead as Tyler Reddick looks inside Ty Gibbs. They work through 4 for the first time. Here's the right-hander, turn 5. Everybody through cleanly as they hit Columbus Drive.
They exit turn number 5, work their way back onto Columbus Drive. Remember, turn 6 was the trouble corner last year in the wet. Let's see how everybody's about to fare out now as they begin to slowly decelerate, apply pressure to the brake, and ease into this corner. Everybody's gotten a memo so far. Nobody coming in hot. Nobody slamming into the tire barrier. 2 and 3 wide racing down the hill to turn 7.
They're coming to the wettest part of the racetrack, and it is still raining over here. This is narrow. It's technical. It is very difficult in the dry. You can see everybody kind of tiptoeing through here, taking their time, trying not to make mistake. But right here, the 54 car of Ty Gibbs, this is where so many people had problems piled into these tire barriers last year. A pass right here, 16 of Alma Van Gisbergen, moving McDowell out of the way.
You see the slipping and sliding. Coming to the green, we had Jones, Berry, Byron all hit pit road before even taking the green flag. We'll see again a lot of commitment, a lot of drivers staying on the racetrack as the 34 continues to search for rear grip down the front stretch.
Alex Bowman's going to see the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Is there enough time? Reddick is the faster car. He is catching Alex Bowman.
And Tyler Reddick's sails are in the wind. He'll cut the left. He's got time to do it. Question is, does he have enough time? 1.7 seconds behind the race leader, Tyler Reddick, trying to shut down the separation and trying to score the win today in Chicago.
And that gap is shrinking. You can see it visually. Reddick is starting to close. Bowman has been strong down here through 3, 4, and 5, but it's drying out in turn 4. That plays to the advantage of that car, Tyler Reddick. Bowman through 4 out of 5. Here comes Tyler Reddick. He hits the wall. That may be all the gap Bowman needs. He's in the wall as they work to 6.
Tyler Reddick gave it all he had coming through turns 4 and 5. He's given up too many car lengths now to be a factor as Alex Bowman, for the final time through turn number 6, drives away. Tyler Reddick came so close, but he did regroup the car, but now he's 3.6 seconds behind.
Reddick had about 20 lap newer tires on his race car, running Bowman down and simply made a mistake. Got into the wall, and that's allowing Alex Bowman to drive away.
Alex Bowman making his way through Congress Plaza for the final time. He works through turn 10, now 11, up over the railroad tracks and into 12. Alex Bowman has never won on a road course, and now he is going to conquer the streets of Chicago. Alex Bowman has won at Chicago.
Roof. But your rhythm is going to start right here, 4 or 5 wide into turn 1.
Out in front of the field, he won his second pole yesterday. Ty Gibbs brings him to the green flag. We're underway. And now rocketing down the front stretch into turn 1. They all stay 2 by 2. Peeking out just a bit there is Ross Chastain.
Yeah, a bit surprising. Very much more organized than we've seen here in the past. Maybe not so much in the back half, as now we see 3 wide trying to get figured out off of turn 1.
Everybody gets through that first turn, and now they head toward the tunnel turn. There's a tunnel underneath turn 2, and it is rough. Side by side for the lead still through turn 2.
Really nice job by the 54 and the 24. Pretty difficult to run 2 wide through turn 2. They did it successfully. Now we'll see if that 54 of Ty Gibbs can use that top lane to maybe carry the momentum down this extremely long front stretch, really the second longest, and he does. He clears the 24 and then swerves down to try to get away from that draft.
Not going to give the 24 any help. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank.
All right, now no mistakes. As a driver, that's what you focus on. It's not about lap time. It's about not doing anything silly.
Fiance Gianna, and you can tell she's nervous. Deep breaths there as she watches down Long Pond straightaway for Ryan Blaney. Marty mentioned it. 11 career wins for Blaney.
Get home smooth and straight.
And through 3 for the final time. The driver of the 12 looking for win number 12. It's going to be the second time he'll see the checkered flag here at Pocono. Ryan Blaney wins again in 2024.
Fantastic work.
Tyler Reddick in the 45 surging ahead of the 11 of Denny Hamlin. The draft will be important. You see some getting out of line, some getting in line. William Byron under attack in the 24.
This is what we talked about. You can see some guys just thinking they have to run the bottom of the racetrack. Others trying to make that second lane work. Christopher Bell trying to make a move. And that black and white car at the back of your screen did not work. And look to what's happened. Kind of slowed that whole line up.
Reddick running second. One more time around. And the 41 still isn't moving.
I don't see any way NASCAR lets them race by this.
And there's the caution. Larson's going to do it. Larson is going to win the Brickyard 400.
We get back to the line.
Priest started to roll. He couldn't continue. The caution comes out after they had received the white flag at Richmond Raceway. Getting ready for 400 laps, 300 miles in the cookout. 400. Green flag is in the air. Martin Truex Jr. holding tough on the outside, but now the 11 starting to get the advantage. Denny Hamlin out in front. Martin Truex Jr. tucks in behind him, the two Toyota. Can Dillon fight back? He's had a great car all weekend long. One more time around for Logano. The white flag's in the air.
If Dillon gets to him, there will be contact.
He can't do it in 1 and 2. Logano looks back. He has a car length now. Joey Logano through 3 and 4 for the final time. There's the contact. He does get to him. The 11 on the inside. He gets into the wall. Dillon's going to win it at the line. One stop here at Michigan International Speedway on the 2024 schedule. And the fans all on their feet. And this is what they've been waiting for. Green flag is out. We're racing in Michigan. Down the backstretch into a headwind as they go into turn 3. Big run there by Kyle Larson. Can he take the lead in 3? Slides up the racetrack and takes it away from Reddick.
What an aggressive move. He caught those two guys side by side, used the draft on the left and went right by them.
Now, William Byron has closed into the back bumper of that 45 as they come up on 1 lap to go in Michigan. One more time around. Reddick out front. Byron, he's going to look to the outside. 3 car lengths separate the top 2 as they go through 2. Slow on the racetrack, the 9 and the 12. They're backing up. Up front, one more set of turns. Reddick with a 3 car length advantage now. Pulling away as he comes out of 4. Tyler Reddick is going to win again. This time it's in Michigan.
Hell yeah, Tyler.
Under the lights, there is no better place to shine. Whose night will it be over the next 160 laps? Let's go here in Daytona. Best ever start at this track for the guy third down on the low line, Josh Berry, as Michael McDowell will lead this field into 1. All the pre-race nerves can go. Now the drivers are dialed in and focused and they can get to work at hand.
And now the cars are reaching top speed. Takes nearly a lap to get all the way to max speed. You see very organized 2 by 2. Everyone kind of playing nicely on newer tires. It wouldn't shock me if the bottom of the racetrack near that yellow line is the preferred lane.
Yeah, we saw an Xfinity race last night, a wreck early, and I think these guys have paid attention to that. They're going to push and shove a little bit, Diff, but they're going to try to be smart about it.
And Parker Retzlaff is having the moment of his racing life, being at the front of this field. 1 to go here in Daytona.
Nemechek made it 3 wide in that second lane, that second line, and that has killed the momentum.
You've got to go back a long, long way for Kyle Busch. 2008, the last time he won here at Daytona, and now he is tantalizingly close to that victory. But here comes Harrison Burton for the Wood Brothers. He's being pushed by Parker Retzlaff, and the 23-year-old from Huntersville, North Carolina, is at the front of this field and may race his way into the playoffs. Busch goes low, Burton blocks, he gets back up, comes to the line. Jeff, your little boy has done it. Harrison Burton wins in Daytona and does what his uncle and dad did. How about that? Flying runs to show how determined and how driven he is to race his way into the playoffs, just like Harrison Burton did. It's time to bring the action at Darlington Raceway. It is time to continue one of the best traditions in racing. It's time for the Southern 500. Listen to that awesome roar. Wallace, and then here comes Larson. Hocevar's been shuffled back a couple of positions as Reddick moves his way up to third. And the question begs, there is nothing between these two at the end of 500 miles. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Can Briscoe hang on? Or has Kyle Busch got something? Both guys are going to break a very long winless streak. But who will it be? Kyle Busch throwing everything at Chase Briscoe he can. It's a win and you're in. And the 29-year-old from Mitchell, Indiana, Chase Briscoe, wins the Southern 500 and is going to the playoffs. 2 weeks in a row, we have been treated to a win and you're in. 34, they just want race wins. Simple as that, race wins. And they would like to get it here today in the Quaker State 400. 10 races to go. The playoffs begin now. It's time to bring the action. Atlanta Motor Speedway, let's go! And McDowell has got his front row motorsports teammate Todd Gilliland tucked in nice and tight behind on the low line. Almost a repeat of 2 races ago at Daytona. Berry up high, that purple car, third in line, number 4. McDowell, Blaney, Berry, Gilliland, and the 5 of Kyle Larson.
Keep in mind, this is the first time race cars have been on track other than by themselves, so they really don't know how their cars are going to handle, Steve.
Well, McDowell out. Here they come to the white flag. Logano gets another little shove from Ryan Blaney. And the 2 Penske's clear Suarez. But Daniel's not giving up. It's Joey Logano clearly out in front. But is there a late run? Remember how this finished. Chastain into the wall, but he's able to keep it going. Has Suarez got something special like he did in February? They're crashing into the wall. Porsche comes out of the checker. They're flying everywhere and Hamlin is involved. Joey Logano prevails in this first playoff race. Missed out on making the playoffs, but he might be able to help himself and his teammate. We're racing on a road course in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Let's go here at the Glen. Good start from Chastain, but Shane Van Gisbergen right behind him. Truex coming on the outside with Bowman as well. Great start, Chastain.
Ross Chastain away with the lead, but he can't get too far away. Here's Truex. Truex in the 19 is going to look to his inside in 2. Can't get the job done. 3, now 4-car breakaway up front. They're side by side for 5th. That is Austin Cindric in that orange 2 car. Right now racing side by side as as they lead turn 4.
Daniel Suarez right there as well at the back of that duo. Now Austin Cindric peeks out of line on Cindric. This is a race for position just inside the top 5 as they work into the bus stop for the first time. Cindric, the outside lane, that's not preferred through that portion of the bus stop, but is preferred here. Give that spot to Cindric. Now they wreck. Christopher Bell out of the bus stop. Several other cars involved. Looks like Kyle Busch is in there, as well as a few others. Everybody should be able to drive away, but the Busch car is going backwards, headed down the bus stop.
And Denny Hamlin involved in that as well. Jeff, he's coming your way.
Yeah,
and the car doesn't look good.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's coming my way. Kyle Busch, you can see the damage on his car, left rear quarter panel. A lot of smoke on the cars on this back straightaway. Denny Hamlin's car is damaged. Don't know if it's just a flat tire or if it's suspension damage. Caution flies over here. Denny Hamlin rolling by me right now. It's hard for me to know if it's suspension or tire.
1 lap to go to figure it out. 7 corners at the Glen to try to stay clear of Chris Buescher. The battle on for third behind with Chastain and Hocevar.
And no matter what happens on this lap, the race will be determined. Do you know what? If you go back to 2012, a former NASCAR driver by the name of Marcus Ambrose drove to a spectacular victory, being hounded by Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski is one of the co-owners of the team of the car doing the chasing. Chris Buescher is hounding down Shane Van Gisbergen, who happens to be mentored by Marcus Ambrose. Marcus will be back in Australia watching this, and it's shades of Keselowski and Ambrose all over again. Buescher gets on the inside of SVG and says, "You pushed me around earlier, I'm going to give it back." Incredible on this final lap. Van Gisbergen's only got 1 real shot left at it. Maybe 2. Thinks about it into turn 6. Did Buescher save the best to last? Or has Van Gisbergen got a little payback? He gets wide. He loses it almost. He has to gather it up, but he can't do it. Chris Buescher wins at the Glen in the most spectacular style. What did we just see?
I'm so proud of you, man.
As the saying goes, it's Bristol, baby, so let's go! Alex Bowman continues his amazing playoffs run. He has been stoic in the face of criticism, and the Hendrick man leads this race early. Christopher Bell, Watkins Glen either. And just recently on the radio, he said to Cliff Daniels, "I'm trying to get to the white flag as quickly as I can." Well, that white flag has come. And Kyle Larson is on his way home. It has been a stellar first-class performance under the lights in Bristol. Kyle Larson is the man. Cliff Daniels says, "There you go, you took care of business." Christopher Bell leading the field to green. It's time to bring the action here in Kansas. Let's go. Let's get the next phase of the playoffs started. Briscoe looking for an early inside move on Blaney. Couldn't quite get it done. Oh, there's already an incident. At the back of the pack, Josh Berry is one of the cars.
Lock it down.
Mentioned Josh Berry, the 16 as well. Ty Dillon, we saw him spinning around. My eyes are peeled for the 9 of Chase Elliott to see if he got through the mess. Remember, he was back there as well. Because of that required engine change, I think he was fortunate enough to sneak through. There's Chase. 2.5 tenths of a second. They're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here in Kansas, presented by Credit One Bank. It's 2 Chevrolet-powered cars from 2 different racing organizations at the front. 1 non-playoff driver, 1 playoff driver. Who wants this more? If William Byron stays where he is, he's still going to leave Kansas as the top-seeded driver as he takes a shot on the low line on Ross Chastain. Checkered flag is waiting, and it's going to be win number 1 for season 2024 for Car One. Ross Chastain and Trackhouse Racing win in Kansas. Motorsports Ford, it's all about winning this race. He's a Daytona 500 winner. He wants to be a Talladega winner. He's come close before.
Let's get ready to go. Time to bring the action. You betcha. The action like nowhere else at a track like nowhere else. This is Talladega. This is the Yellowwood 500. Let's go. McDowell's got his teammate Todd Gilliland right behind, giving him a nice push. Cindric on the high side. The front row guys are working well together, straight from the drop of the green.
You can already see toward the back of the pack, some drivers are trying to make that outside line work 3 wide.
Brad Keselowski was one of those.
Got separated from each other. Now they're trying to get hooked back up.
The driver of car number 6 has won here 6 times. Stenhouse is fighting back on the outside. Van Gisbergen goes really wide and high. White flag out. Next flag will end the race.
Kyle Busch to the outside.
Overtime presented by Credit One Bank. Who's got the magic in these final 2.5 miles? Busch is out of it. He's been sent back. Stenhouse in the green and white machine. William Byron, Brad Keselowski and Kyle Larson in the 5. We've had some dramatic finishes this year, and it's got that feeling about it again. Keselowski got bounced out of the playoffs at the last round. The built Submarines car is in front, but for how much longer? Here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. through the tri-oval. Keselowski down low, Stenhouse high. Byron goes for it on the outside.
Good work, dude.
The Bank of America Roval 400, and this is the final race in the round of 12. It's an elimination day. It's a cut day. Who will be the 8 drivers who make it through to the next phase of these playoffs? It's time to bring the action here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's go at the Roval. Greg Biffle, the honorary starter, and see Shane Van Gisbergen get away to a good, clean start. Here comes Logano. You heard the pre-race pep talk, and he's on it straight away.
First stage, only 25 laps. The aggression high right away. You see the yellow banners on the top of the windshield. That is a great way to signify a playoff driver. And they are looking for spots and spots right away.
Allmendinger on the attack.
This is a new section. Turn 5, climbing a hill right here. Now they're going to go down into turn 7. The left-hander, 180 degrees. 45 miles an hour. It's got to feel stopped inside the race car. A lot of contact.
And as you can see the options it gives the drivers, though. You can try the top, you can try the bottom. That was a lot of respect shown right there early in the race.
Early positional changes. Allmendinger lost a few, got one back. Tyler Reddick started from the front row. He's now gone from 2nd to 5th in that 45 Monster Camry for 2311 Racing. Back section chicane. Does everybody get through okay? So far, so good.
So much change to the track. We haven't even discussed that chicane. One of the toughest sets of corners in NASCAR. Everybody got through. Now we're going to see our first look at this front stretch chicane at speed with the new curbing.
Shane Van Gisbergen, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, AJ Allmendinger, Tyler Reddick. Austin Cindric is in the same boat as his Team Penske teammate, Joey Logano. They have to have a great day to advance. Hunt Brothers Pizza on board. Let's go for an early. And now there's just 1 lap to go. 2.25 miles before he's got another career victory.
Christopher Bell isn't close, but he's close enough that the 5 has to be very careful with this 99. You don't want to make a mistake at this point. You see maybe 25, 30 car lengths back. I mean, it's a big, big gap. But at a track like this, we have seen some big mistakes. I don't expect that out of the 5, but he has to figure out what he wants to do with this 99.
And for Daniel Suarez, his playoffs run ends here in just a lap time. The 99, the sole rep for Trackhouse as he waves Larson by on the inside. It's been a good run, an interesting run.
but it's over for Suarez. It is far from over for Kyle Larson. The last time, the only time he's won here at the Roval, interestingly enough, was the year that he became a NASCAR Cup Series champion. Is that an omen for Kyle Larson and the HendrickCars.com Chevy team? Everybody here at the track has been raving about the weather this week. It has been just beautiful. And on a sunny fall afternoon, this California kid has just been dominant. He made up 4 positions on the opening couple of laps, and that was an omen. But for the second time in his career, Kyle Larson wins at the Roval. Christopher Bell follows him through into the round of 8. And look at that bottom box on the left. It's time to bring the action as they creep their way towards the green flag. Let's see what happens in Vegas. Great start, Christopher Bell.
You see what we talked about in the pre-race, already 2 and 3 wide further back in the pack. Trying to make ground. That's Chase Elliott, that white car all the way up against the wall about 10 rows back.
Last mile and a half track, Elliott started last after an issue and worked his way through the field to a respectable finish. So with that in mind, just a few races ago, let's see what he can do.
And now the nerves, the anticipation of being the playoffs settled in for the drivers. It's about getting the job done.
The Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske.
White flag, 1 more.
1 more to go. 1 lap left, presented by Credit One Bank. Bell is clear. Does he have a shot? It's going to be tough. Logano is in view. This has been the fastest car over the last 30 plus laps. Been the fastest car all day, as a matter of fact. And now Bell's there, but it may be just too much to do, too close to the line. Can you believe what you are seeing? Joey Logano is the last into the round of 8. Joey Logano wins Las Vegas. He's going to Phoenix. Here in southern Florida, it's the Straight Talk 400, and it's time to bring the action here in Miami. Great start, Tyler Reddick. Left Larson behind, and Bell took full advantage of that. Now Larson responds. Look at that blue and white car up high. Reddick, Bell, Larson, Hamlin, and then Haley goes around. Lap 1 crash. Can everybody miss him? Justin Haley got his best qualifying of the year in the top 10 for his new team, Spire Motorsports, and he's gone around on the opening lap.
And amazing, I didn't see contact from any other.
1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Less than 1.5 miles from here. Now Reddick on the low side.
Hamlin goes to the top. He's looking for the huge run down the backstretch, but can Reddick do it from the bottom?
This championship this year has given us some of the most incredible closing moments. You pick this one. Blaney, Reddick, or Hamlin. Reddick is not done with yet. Tyler Reddick just drives all the way around Ryan Blaney. Can you believe what you've just seen? Reddick's going to Phoenix. Tyler Reddick wins the Straight Talk 400 in the most incredible way for this 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Championship. Who is going to get him? Let's go here in Martinsville. Truex with Elliott on his flank. William Byron, who has been so amazing in these playoffs, so consistent, sits 3rd.
Over the course of the 36 weeks, the NASCAR schedule goes to some of the most famous racetracks in the world. High speed, high banks, everything we see top to bottom here at Martinsville.
There's a little push and shove going on there for that final, getting to this final lap. There's half a mile to go for Ryan Blaney. The reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion is going to have an opportunity to defend. Last week at these 2 corners, 3 and 4, he lost the lead and lost the chance. He lost sleep over it. Ryan Blaney's not losing anything here in Martinsville. He wins and is going to Phoenix. That was a determined Championship Day. Phoenix Raceway is ready to explode into life for Championship Day. Let's go! What a beautiful moment for Martin Truex Jr. to lead this field in his final full-time Cup ride.
Big moment for the one of Ross Chastain. That Busch Light Chevrolet, light blue and white, got loose underneath the 22, was able to save it. He'll fall in line in third.
Austin Cindric can't push his way through the middle there as well. Logano. One lap.
Very best lap here.
Two teammates. Logano or Blaney. One to go, presented by Credit One Bank. This has been an extraordinary season of motor racing. The NASCAR Cup Series is alive and well, and it's given us thriller after thriller after thriller. This is Blaney's final shot at it. He goes up high. There's traffic low. Joey Logano steps into history. He's a three-time Cup Series champion.